This is Afcon, my friend. Everything is a competition.
Afcon 2025. Catch every match in 6 languages with analysis by the continent's biggest stars. Live on Supersport, only on DSTV. This broadcast is proudly brought to you by 10Bet.
Greatness feel like.
It's the new chapter for an epic.
What makes greatness?
On the club scene, sheer quality within these teams.
Where does greatness thrive?
What a day to witness, what a stadium to be.
What does greatness feel like?
It's the new chapter for an epic.
What makes greatness?
Club scene, sheer quality within these teams.
Where does greatness thrive?
What a day to witness, what a stadium to be.
What does greatness feel like?
It's the new chapter for an epic.
What makes greatness?
Club scene, sheer quality within these teams.
Where does greatness thrive?
What a day to witness, what a stadium to be.
What does greatness feel like?
It's the new chapter for an epic.
What makes greatness?
Here, we're known for our sense of service. It's all about finding ways to support you. Day after day, doing everything we can to be useful and providing energy in all its forms. Everywhere, every time, all across the continent. Here, we're known for our sense of service. It's all about finding ways to support you. Day after day, doing everything we can to be useful and providing energy in all its forms. Everywhere, every time, all across the continent.
Let's bet on Africa. 1xBet. Maybe it all starts here to end up there. Sure, for us, it rather starts here and finishes over there. But it also goes through here, doesn't it? But whether it's here or there, behind the screen, in the stands, or on the pitch, Orange is here, proudly supporting African football for over 15 years. Maybe it all starts here to end up there. Sure, for us, it rather starts here and finishes over there. But it also goes through here, doesn't it? But whether it's here or there, behind the screen, in the stands, or on the pitch, Orange is here, proudly supporting African football for over 15 years. Maybe it all starts here to end up there. Sure, for us, it rather starts here and finishes over there. But it also goes through here, doesn't it? But whether it's here or there, behind the screen, in the stands, on the pitch, Orange is here, proudly supporting African football for over 15 years. Maybe it's all starts here to end up there. Sure, it starts here and finishes over there. But it also goes through here, doesn't it? But whether it's here or there, behind the screen, in the stands, on the pitch, Orange is here, proudly supporting African football for over 15 years. Maybe it's all starts here to end up there. Sure, it starts here and finishes over there. But it also goes through here, doesn't it?
Equatorial Guinea is left on the bench for debate encounter. They're getting on European tournaments for Burkina Faso in the Cup of Nations over time. On top of their second place in Nation 12 years ago, they've been semi-finalists on 3 occasions. Equatorial Guinea, when they hosted the very first tournament, 2012, made it all the way into the knockout phase. Semi-finalists in 2015 when they were emergency hosts for Morocco. And then we have seen the heroics of the last tournament in Côte d'Ivoire. So here they come, the two teams out for the start. Burkina Faso and Equatorial Guinea here. First game in Group E at the tournament. And of course, the winning start on the agenda for both of these sides. Burkina Faso coming into this game on the back of 4 successive wins. 3 goals in each of their last 3 matches. They certainly have been on form, particularly in the November internationals. Unbeaten overall in their last 7 games. Equatorial Guinea have had 1 win in their past 5 matches. We have fair gap between the two on the FIFA rankings as well. Burkina Faso much further up than their opponents today from Equatorial Guinea. Let's pause now for the national anthem. Burkina Faso's national anthem is called Ditanya. Thomas Sankara wrote the lyrics, former president of the country. Now for that of Equatorial Guinea. Burkina Faso's national anthem is called Ditanya. Thomas Sankara wrote the lyrics, former president of the country. Let us walk, treading the paths of our immense happiness are the lyrics on the opening line of the Equatorial Guinea national anthem. I'm sure they'll be very happy if they come away with success here today against Burkina Faso. they will be the underdogs, Daniel, but perhaps not as some of the teams that we've seen, some of the contests that we've seen in this cup. It's pretty even contest on the class here today.
I just want to see how the team is set up because, during the warm-up, the way the coach, put the dimension and they were practicing it, ball from the midfield to the wing, and I want to see if they can set up.
Let's do Burkina Faso going 4-3-3 on Urban Coffee at the back. Players from the Premier League in the attack there. Bertrand Traore, number 10 from Sunderland, will be tackling the side. Dunga Watara, signed by Brentford from Bournemouth at the beginning of the season. Out wide on the wings, and of course Edmund Capsola, the quality defender from Bayer Leverkusen. He missed the match for the German Giants so far this season. He'll be key at the back for the Burkina the Equatorial Stallions, as they like to call themselves. There's an experience in the side refereeing team today. It's led by the Egyptian Mohamed Mansour. That's third congratulations for the 39-year-old. He's on the people list for the last 11 years, and in support that's from Khalid Hassan, Ahmed Taha from Egypt, and Omar Amrad from Somalia, and the very able to get is our fourth official. Two skippers, chance for us to introduce you to the lineup today for Equatorial Guinea. There's lots of experience here in terms of the African Cup of Nations. On the right-hand side of the bench. It's a confirmation of our VAR team as well today with Mohamed Mansour from Egypt in charge. Lots of experience here in terms so let's move to Equatorial Guinea. 9 players in the starting lineup to be featured at the last tournament. The only newcomers are Mascarell in the midfield, who plays football in La Liga. And on the right-hand side of the territory, wearing jersey 24, Lionel Liga, who is with Real Madrid, Leonardo Castilla, who plays in the second division of Spain. Immensely experienced in that lineup, led by Iman Salvador, and as we mentioned earlier, on the bench today, Emilio Aguero. More one from the left-hand side of the So we stand by for the kickoff here at Stade Mohammed VI in Casablanca. This is the famous venue where the likes of Wydad Casablanca, Raja Casablanca have won Champions League success in the past. They will be building a brand new stadium in Casablanca for the 2020 World Cup. This might become a little bit of a secondary venue in the future, but this is very much the home of Moroccan football over the last 3-4 decades, and it's where they played the final of the Cup of Nations back in 1988, the previous time when Morocco hosted it. So what I can say is the involved Mascarell trying to bring it down and get back in for the Burkina Faso. Maybe a place up front with the likes of Traoré and Waka. In the build-up this season, and Bayer Leverkusen played in all 14 of their Bundesliga games, all 5 of their Champions League matches, and 3 games that have got them past Borussia Dortmund into the semi-finals of the German Cup. He's not missed a single minute for Bayer Leverkusen, just speaking his quality and how much he has evolved. One of the real star African players, 14 in the European League football, number 12 for Burkina Faso at the back. Keep an eye out on him. He's a nice quality. Now a long ball from Basilo Edong, looking for Salvador. Combinations for Salvador, for Spanish born carrier who fight the temperament about him, but very competitive, and he was a big part of their success 2 years ago. That's what I was talking about. 5 years, one of the longest serving traditions for at the moment. Now, Bloody Ture, getting it out wide. Nice little shot there from Mascarell. Clears it upfield. Sunday for Burkina Faso now. They can get going down that right-hand side with Iago, that's an experienced former League One player in France. Iago going, looking for the return ball. Traore on the edge of the area, gets the shot in. It's wide over one of them. Scuff that ball and he finds it. But there's an early warning shot from the Burkina on strike to the Equatorial Guinea side. This is the World Cup qualifier in Mali. To get on the plane, a lot of these players were there suspended for the next couple of matches. That's all been sorted out. Policies have been issued. It's all been put under the table, and they're back to full strength again. Equatorial Guinea was one of the suspended as well by the Federation for a couple of weeks. But his first one, now Dunga White without backing away with Afcon. Zuniga, first time to see the young man from Real Madrid playing for Spain at under 19 level. Suspended as well. Players now on the direction for Iago. Characteristics to an ideology of players. It doesn't look like we're ready to the way they come out from the back, the way they move forward together. So you think that we are all the ball that makes those wrong. Like that's sports development of the last game. It's Juanmica in the middle. He captures the player for Equatorial Guinea. It was not among their star performers in an era where they were one of the whipping boys of African football. But he certainly from the bench turned this team around, and they're still a small country in terms of resources. African side draw Equatorial Guinea and qualifying group. There's always a little trepidation these days. One of the women know what you're going to be up against. Team around the other line wide. Traore come looking for the ball. Small country in terms of resources. African side draw Equatorial Guinea Lucky Ture finds Gustavo Sangare on the right-hand side. He's Kouassi. Back from the top league in France. Now he has a chance. Wandera inside, and that is just put wide by Traore. Almost steers that wide and goal there. That's the left of a touch. He might have steered it into the back of the net. If he wasn't there, he was right there at the right moment. Getting in front of Traore, who plays in Scotland. Set-piece opportunity from the corner here. Here's Burkina Faso with a chance for an early goal. Sorting out pushing and shoving, and eventually initially towards the back post. Floated in and again cleared away. Two good chances early on here for Burkina Faso.
They're knocking on the door with the swing and corner kick. Good effort by the pressure crash.
The play on the lane is very well. MOROCCO got the better in. Marcelo is gone. Cleared off the line. Early warning shots fired by Burkina Faso in this game. Met Equatorial Guinea 3 times before, twice in friendlies and once at the Cup of Nations in 2015, and on all of those occasions have managed to keep a clean sheet against Equatorial Guinea, so the stats are in favour of Burkina Faso. 1 win and 2 draws in those 3 previous meetings. The previous Cup of Nations match between these two ended without score. We hope that's not the case here today. We've certainly been treated to plenty of goals so far in this tournament.
Equatorial Guinea survived what we said in the last Afcon, and then things just changed.
Well, they got 4 against Guinea-Bissau the game before, and then 4 against Cote d'Ivoire. Sensational result in Abidjan. Still one of the biggest upsets.
Nigeria, they were in a group with Nigeria.
Right, Nigeria was their first game. Top of the group ahead of Nigeria and Cote d'Ivoire, that last Cup of Nations. What about? Dropped by Ivan Salvador. Salvador playing in Poland these days. Won promotion at the end of last season with his club, and they're actually top of the table at the moment. I think we're going to winter break as well, so he's not missing too much football. Ivan Salvador in Poland now. Chance down this left-hand side. And Dong steaming forward, has a look up. What are his options? This will be the first attack from Equatorial Guinea, and they will get a corner. Well, we saw plenty of them 2 years ago from Marcelo and Dong. Steaming up again to add numbers to the attack.
During the break, you can see that only one Equatorial player was in the middle. They need more bodies in there. They want to have a better chance of scoring goals.
6 players from Equatorial Guinea forward for this set-piece opportunity. There's chance for Adorate Coffee, the goalkeeper, to show us his strengths. It's a low ball, fairly easily cleared away. Dial. 6 players from Equatorial Guinea forward for this referee says play on. Nice playing surface for the 2 teams today. Tapsoba pushing forward. Toure. Dial knows Morocco well, having played several seasons here with the Naissance Berkane, including winning the championship last campaign. Since moved on to Qatar. The 2 teams today. Tapsoba pushing forward. Salvador. Looking for Zuniga. Salvador remains on the ground over on the far side. No stoppage for him. The referee says play on, and so Salvador back up on his feet. Let's see what Bertrand Traoré can do. Cuts inside. Marcelo Ngong is the defender, looking for the return ball. Again, referee playing advantage. Sangare. This is Kouassi. Gustavo Sangare. And Bertrand Traoré bangs it back into the middle. Let's take a little deflection on Coco and straight into the goalkeeper's arms.
Good combination play. Switching the ball from one side of the pitch to the other. This is cool. Putting the ball behind, Equatorial Guinea defense. Unfortunately, they couldn't cancel it another goal.
Asking more in hope than conviction. So Coco playing in Serie A these days for Torino, 2 years away here. Was with Las Palmas in La Liga when we last saw him in the combinations 2 years ago. These impressive performances in Cote d'Ivoire earned him that move to Serie A. Now, quickly take it. Playing in Serie A these days for Torino. This is Luis Asuere looking for the return ball from Garnett. 2 years ago. Back post Zuniga, but Anway Coffrey collects comfortably, looks to get Burkina Faso going quickly. Back time Traore on his own up front. That's a foul by Traore, excuse me, not Traore. If we're going to have a little word as well. But Anway Coffrey collects comfortably, looks to get Burkina Faso going quickly. Back time Traore on his own up front. Esteban going down, but a little soft, do you reckon, Daniel?
Too soft. Too soft, and then he's holding, his neck like, he's been elbowed. But, there's nothing in there. It's a tussle. Football.
Esteban back up on his feet. Possession now. Has played every match, or every minute of every match for Equatorial Guinea over the last 2 Cup of Nations. They got to the quarterfinals in Cameroon, and of course the round of 16 at the last tournament. So 9 matches in total for many of these players over those 2 editions. Now, a lot of them playing their 10th game at the Cup of Nations, including the likes of Captain Akbol and Esteban at the back. Garnett in the middle as well. Now here's Salvador. He's played at the 2015 tournament. This is his 15th Cup of Nations game. It's very impressive statistics. They're trying to throw it in the middle of the Blati Toure now. Champions League winner with the Pyramids in Egypt. All cut out. Back again, Sangare and Ouattara doing all the hard work in the middle. This is his 15th Cup of Nations game. It's very impressive statistics. Dial to Yago on their right-hand side. Super Dial spends 5 seasons with Metcalf. He won the Moroccan Championship last season, also the African Confederation Cup. He's gone off to earn some petrodollars in the Middle East.
One player that's very solid, one-on-one, area balls. He's always playing his game. Player that he's always.
It's a good centre-back combination of the half of that. Burkina the defence tops over in Dial. They will be a handful for the stronger attacks, which we presume will come for the likes of Burkina Faso later on in the tournament. Now, long ball forward. Dom again on the charge. He gives you an incredible amount of work down that left-hand side. This is Mascarell. Machine. Now, slipping away, he switched to the left. Little touch from Machine, played for Monza in Syria previously.
There was unfortunately the ball out of touch.
Maybe switch to the left. We're past the quarter hour mark here in Casablanca. Algeria and Sudan playing right up the road. Good 50 minutes or so on the highway. That's the second fixture at 4 p.m. local time here in Morocco. those two big games tonight in Group F. We look forward to seeing defending champions Cote d'Ivoire starting against Mozambique in Marrakesh, followed by Cameroon and Gabon. He's arrived in the country somewhat belatedly after his injury for Marseille, and there's quite a bit of speculation, even though the coach said he missed the opening game, that he will make the side tonight for Gabon. Starting against Mozambique in Marrakesh. Gabon and Cameroon, of course, played in this country just a month or so ago in those World Cup playoffs, which you asked us not to mention, and we'll try
Well, it is a player that you definitely need to think about the experience, and he's been having a good 2 seasons, coming back from Saudi and then back to Marseille and scoring those goals, creating those chances.
Getting it out wide, and the mischallenge means there's a chance for Machine to set something up for Equatorial Guinea. On the edge of the area, almost swept over the top by Luis Asuel.
I expect a lot of this from Equatorial Guinea. A good break, reception on the ball, a big break, and then pull us behind. And create something out of it. Unfortunately, this time, he's put the ball over the ball.
Luis Asuel now playing in China. Obviously in the lower leagues in Spain. 19 of the 28 squad members for Equatorial Guinea born in Spain. It's not the biggest foreign contingent. Cameroon has got 24 out of the 25 born in France from the immigrant communities there.
Small islands, the black whites, all the immigrants, want to come back and play for their country.
And it's helped them a lot. I mean, Cape Verde qualified for the World Cup with players from migrant communities across Europe.
I think Cape Verde saw the vision first. They started it there, and they definitely paid us. Remember when they bought out of the scene? They were putting surprise, and everybody was. I was shocked.
Not here, by the way, Cape Verde. 9 African countries going to the World Cup next June in Canada, Mexico, and the USA. But of those 9, only 7 are here. Ghana and Cape Verde did not qualify for this tournament. Qualification for the Cup of Nations finished in November last year. And then this year we've seen the World Cup qualifiers. So teams who perhaps were not in form last year, i.e. Ghana and Cape Verde, have bounced back and had a good 2025 and in the process booked themselves a berth at the World Cup in 6 months' time. This is a good tournament practice, of course, for the countries that are here, the 7 who are in Morocco and will be going to North America in 6 months' time. They'll be able to replicate what it's like to be in a tournament together in a hotel and stuck, as it were, with your teammates for a good couple of weeks, 3-4 weeks. Wonderful practice that the African countries get, but none of the other teams from any of the other continents have the opportunity of viewing.
It's an experience to be at the World Cup for the players, for the fans. It's always good to see. Like Cape Verde will never give up the World Cup for the African competition. For a country, for a tiny country that Cape Verde to make the 10 teams out of Africa to represent the continent, there's tactics for them.
Now Kouassi, Ouattarago, Tapsoba to Yago, who gets there ahead of Zuniga. Now Traore has a bit of a chase, gets the better of the defender. 2 waiting in the middle, drags it back. This is a chance for Burkina Faso. Intercepted by Machine. Still their attack, Dango Ouattara. Crowd is grabbing a handball, none of the players on the field. Ouattara again. Return ball onto that left foot. Nice little chip, but dealt with at the back by Esteban. Good passenger play for Burkina Faso.
We've seen those flashes in the first 5 minutes of the game. They went a bit quiet and on their back. There has been a handful, from the left side of the pitch.
That's right, Traore will come across and look to take it from his left-hand side, presumably swing it out a little bit and aim for the penalty spot. They've got lots of height in there with Tapsoba and Dio. Missed by Tapsoba. Hope he might have got in the way there as well. Here goes Kouassi. Pulls it back. And Equatorial Guinea still under threat.
They called, but the referee got the spot on.
El Salvador is no stranger to having a little whinge at the referee, and he's involved. I think he's still trying to make a point about a challenge from 5-10 minutes ago, wide out on that left-hand side. But certainly, Damgawato just catching Basilo and Dong. There are two local coaches today. Tapsoba. Traore. Chases on for Cabore. Defensive work from Coco. Nice touch, Traore. Good football being played by Burkina Faso. Blati Toure gets support here on the left from Kouassi. 21-year-old, fairly new to the Burkinabe side. But a regular in the top flight in France with Lorient. They are struggling a little bit, but he is playing regularly at the highest level. Nice touch, Traore.
They're not in their deep cover, the combination play, good silky passes around. They're maybe showing up, and you can see how the fans are excited, being in the stadium. There's nothing like the Afcon combination.
Pockets of supporters from both countries here today. Again, Traore to take it again, to maybe swing it away from goal, looking for those big centre-backs, Dio and Tapsoba in particular. It's a routine they've obviously been working on. So Traore over the head of Dio. He looked to be well placed there. The big centre-back came steaming in, but
then he jumped earlier than the ball, and then when the ball arrived, he was already going down. Well, it was a good swing in corner kick from Traore.
A little sort of action from Machine, midfield for Equatorial Guinea. So there's some of the Burkinabe fans, always amongst the most colourful at these tournaments.
Machine, that is his nickname all over for him.
Jose Machine.
Thinking probably was because of his energy in the middle.
Asuri got the little flick on there, looking for Zuminga and Van Salvador in the attack. Skipper Traore again. That foul goes Equatorial Guinea's way. Asuri got the little flick on there, looking for Zuminga and Van Salvador in the attack. Skipper Traore again.
We've seen a lot of this from the Burkinas, the Malis, the Guineans. In the round of first round, they always play some silky good football, and then they make it to the knockout stage, and then they start playing football that you're wondering, are they the same team that you've seen in the group stages. So far, so good. The Burkinas, they're keeping the ball pretty well, working on pressure, attacking when they need to attack, spreading the passes. So I think the manager should be definitely happy with what he's seeing in the first 28 minutes.
Now, Masilo, back to Ivan Salvador, 2-8 in the middle. Here comes the cross. Out comes Coffee. Very comfortable collection for Burkina Faso's long-standing goalkeeper. They won their opening game at the last Cup of Nations finals, beat Mauritania. Then they drew and lost. So 4 points was enough for them to advance into the round of 16, where Mali beat them at the last tournament. So I want to improve on that. They were semi-finalists in Cameroon 2021 and in the regions 2019.
It was a local debut against the Malians, but the way the Malians played, it was a surprise to see that the manager being sacked after the tournament. But we're happy to have him.
Now out wide, Kouassi cuts inside. Has he got a right foot? Lays it out with the left. It's support here from Ouattara, Lucky Toure, Tamsoba, and they'll patiently build up again with Iago. On that flank back time goal, a good overlapping one from Iago. Here comes the cross. That's inside. Blocked by Donut. Silo Dong and picture now playing his club football in Albania. He's had a bit of a journeyman career with clubs in Romania and Norway and Belgium previously. Stalwarts of Equatorial Guinea's national team. Tamsoba. Silo Dong and picture now playing his club football in Albania. He's had a bit of a journeyman career with clubs in Romania. Kouassi, no play ready. Goalkeeper Ono, nice and comfortable under the high ball, collects despite the pressure from Kabore.
The experience is showing, but when the Burkinas are pushing, the Equatorial Guinea, they have 6 players, behind. That is kind of a bit dangerous because now they end up with their own 18-yard box.
Single draw so far in this tournament, with Zambia coming from behind in the closing stages to snatch a point from their game against Mali on Monday. For the rest, teams posting victories in these early stages in the opening 4 groups that we've seen.
In the first game, she always needs that 3 points. No matter how good or bad the team is, when you get that 3 points, the nerves, calms down. I had a call yesterday with a friend and come on, what are you? Nigerian feeling around. I said, this, what is more important is, winning the game and getting 3 points. Now, the nerves go down and now is the tournament really starts for you.
The game for Nigeria next against Tunisia.
Not going to ask me who I will support.
All of the top-seeded teams meet each other in the second round of the group matches. So we're going to see, for example, each of South Africa, Morocco, Mali.
Good game for even the knockout.
Senegal, DR Congo, and Tanzania on Saturday. Mouth-watering matches ahead. Now there will be up against Algeria in the second round.
I don't know about the last game.
Cameroon, Cote d'Ivoire will be on the menu over the weekend. Now, Ouattara beaten in the challenge. Forward they go. This is Machine gets the shot in. Over the top.
That's a good call by the referee, allowed the game play. This is what we want to see more from the referee, allowing the advantage go. So we've seen that they're trying to ask the assistant that the goalkeeper had to touch. Probably it's a corner kick, but that's a good effort from
Yeah, they've got in there as well. Well, the Egyptian official, how close was that from Flashy?
I think this will go definitely. This looks like a red card.
Well, it's Captain Akapol, who was held in that challenge. Now we wait to hear whether the referee is going to be summoned over.
Really bad, you know. Well, they're trying to get the ball and his leg was both. The ankle was he should be able to stand.
There's a thumbs up from the physio, but he's a vital player for Equatorial Guinea. Afcon was with the MLS with the weather earthquakes until last season, and then has been playing in Brazil in the second division. He should be able to stand. There's a thumbs up from the physio, but he's a vital player for Equatorial Guinea. Afcon was with the MLS with the a great challenge again from Malagrago. He's slightly almost hesitated as he was going in, and then he hesitated and then followed through.
They would get away with it because there was no contact with it. It never really showed that there was no contact with the way he launched it. I think they don't come to play.
He was going in, and then he hesitated and then followed through. So big report to Burkina Faso. There was no contact. On the field, so Equatorial Guinea is still to their full confidence. Sun is finally beginning to shine here in Morocco after a couple of gloomy days. This is number one round. Square ball blocked by Esteban. Will be another set-piece opportunity for the Burkina Faso. Now beginning to ratchet the pressure up a little bit now.
The way he's taking his time going
once more. Again looking for one of those big central defenders. The bit shallow towards the near post. Comes in once more this time. Far too close to the goalkeeper.
When a player keeps swinging at those balls, we get it in the world. With the effort that they know how to put it into the game, I think they like a cards ball. Just like a good and coach will let them around and get another player to help you with that.
Drago gets a little medicine from nicely done by Cabore, but he's offside, flags up. Good call. Cabore with hearts of mid-loaded in Scotland, the surprise leaders in the Scottish Premiership this season. Are they going to go on and win the championship, break that long time monopoly that Rangers and Celtic have enjoyed in Scotland?
Not way to go, man. It will be nice for
What has not been a regular for Hearts, but a couple of goals already so far this season. It should break that Rangers and Celtic have enjoyed in Scotland. That's Yagro who clears it away. Inside of the final 10 minutes now of the first half. Toure. Traore will leave it for Kouassi. He's impressed on this left-hand side. A little chip ball in search of Tapsoba, who's pushed forward now towards the back post. Dangawata gone across onto the right-hand flank. Toure, can he get it square or no? Well, was better than the ball away from the danger zone. Ball in search of so they're being much more attacking Burkina Faso than their opponents. No surprise there really, just in terms of the quality of player they've got at their disposal. But maybe we've been a little surprised that Equatorial Guinea hasn't shown us the glimpses of what we saw 2 years ago.
That's how they play, man. That's how they're patient. They get the ball, they try to play. When they don't get the ball, they go back compact. They don't wait for the right ball. They same thing over and over. That's the ideology that I was talking about. They don't go blazing because they know their strength. And the quality that they have.
Glimpses of what we saw 2 years ago.
That's how they play, man. That's how they play.
Tapsoba likes to go forward when he can, drills us over onto the right-hand side. Traore with Iago, ball into the middle. Mowono will watch that go away for a corner. Well, they've got Traore and Iago on that right-hand side, certainly getting a fair amount of possession. And we've seen on his left-hand side, Kouassi. That's Mowono earlier, a little unorthodox to that punch-out. He's in the palms.
They keep, sorry, Mark, they keep getting those set pieces, those corner kicks. And they don't get it right. So they're only looking for those tall center backs.
Traore, this one goes straight into the arms of the goalkeeper. Gabriel Gane, forward he comes. So he's just in front of the defense and doing all the dirty work.
Switching those passes when he gets the ball. I think his name should be changed to Machine.
Denmark, that's right around Rose, spent previous 4 seasons in Greece. To this Burkina national side. He's got Blasi Toure alongside him, who's got years and years of experience with the national team, and of course won the African Champions League now with Pyramids.
But they allow him to float. When he goes, get the ball from the back line, shed the passes to Traore on the right. He's doing what he's been put there to do.
Blasi Toure alongside him, who's got years and years of experience with the national team, and of course won the that'll be a foul against Kosovo. Well, it won't be the first half, or the first game in this tournament, where the first half has ended without goals. Yep, we have not had a goalless draw in this tournament so far. Hopefully that will remain the case. It's off the head of Esteban. Kouassi to take the throw in. The first half, or the first game in this tournament, where the first half was Toure back to Tapsoba. Yeah, we have not had a goalless draw in this tournament so far. Hopefully that will remain the case. It's Bertrand Traore, that distinctive style of his. He's always looks as if he's almost falling over as he runs, but far back, looking for possession. Now Kabore, yes, Dango Ouattara, good chance. Ouattara again gets the shot in, and it will go away off Esteban for a corner kick.
Good combination play, all starters from Traore, when the referee blew. That's a quick corner kick taken.
Possession. Now Kabore, yes, Dango Ouattara, good chance. Ouattara again gets the shot in, and it will go away off Esteban for a corner Pablo Guinea to Ndong through the middle here now with Luis Asuel Mascarell. Live from Machine. Here's the ball from Salvador. Any player up front at the moment for Equatorial Guinea. Lauren Zuminga, the youngster from Real Madrid. Dango Watanabe is away. On goal, tight angle. Showed just a little bit too much there, and excellent cover defense from Pablo Guinea.
Split 100 of a second that he took his eyes off the ball and then he overtouched the ball. But that's a 100% good shot for Burkina Faso have been ahead.
They're going to look to regret that opportunity. Dango Watanabe. Owono is fouled by Traore, gets him a little shove as well. Petulant push. This is Randy Kabore in picture.
Right here. Unfortunately, he couldn't get it across.
Not often you see a tackle celebrated as vigorously by their supporters as that one was.
I enjoy seeing those nowadays, when the goalkeeper pull out a good save, he celebrates, and when the defender pulls a tackle. Why should only goals be celebrated?
Absolutely, show some passion.
Yeah, why should only goals be celebrated? Narrative have to change. Goalkeepers have to be man of the matches. Goalkeepers and defenders have to be the footballers of the year. Why not?
So it's a striker, good.
When the goalkeeper pull out a good save, he celebrates.
So Owono with a free kick. Final minute of this first half. We'll see how much time is to be added on. Answers all the way through here to Coffee. And then one goalkeeper can be involved in a little touch of patience. Why not the other? So it's a play on now with Tapsoba. So cool and calm under pressure of this first half. We'll see how much time is to be added on. Quadrado comes away with it. Toure in the middle. There's a bit of space now for Burkina Faso. Out wide here to Kouassi. 2-8 in the middle. Early ball. Might be a little bit too close to the keeper. Owono comes up his line with good confidence again.
Yeah, good confidence, but it was that last action of the game. You need to do precision out to come to players. When he was right there, you have 2-3 players in the 18 box, and then his decision making always cool. African team back.
3 minutes and on at the end of this first half. Looking forward to seeing Algeria, probably the top side in this group, how they do against Sudan. No easy start for them, but 3 minutes. They could be one of the favourites for this tournament.
Always the dark horses.
Tapsoba. Traore. Dango Watanabe. Stopped by Esteban. They do get the shot in through Kabore, but he puts it over the top.
Over Julius. Because you was right there. You don't need to shoot. You don't need to kill the goalkeeper. You just need to pick a corner and then swing the ball in. Straight on the penalty line. You just have to go swinging the ball into the corner and then you run into the corner flag and celebrate. Because you was right there. You don't need to shoot. You don't need to kill the goalkeeper.
Disappointment on the pitch and indeed in the stands. Well, we've had roughly 90 seconds of stoppage time, another 90 to go. Well, chance welcomed by both coaches at the half-time break to get some adjustments made potentially. Zuminga does well. Now Machine back to Zuminga. First positive move in a while from Equatorial Guinea. Watanabe. Simple for the throw-in.
That's what they can do, They find that they just space the pockets are there, the spaces are there, and they'll keep looking for it until it pays off.
Dairo, good serve from Watson. Now Waterando. Pablo Granet under a bit of pressure. Perfect given him the free kick. Take your time about getting this back into play as well. Dairo, good serve. Burkina Faso, of course, hosted this tournament back in '98. Got themselves all the way to the semi-final. In fact, they are the last host country to lose their opening game in a tournament that they hosted. They were beaten by Cameroon, but bounced back and went all the way to the semi-final, lost to Egypt. And in fact, were beaten by DR Congo in the bronze medal match. They were leading 4-1 with 4 minutes to go. Somehow conceded 3 goals. One of the great matches of the Cup of Nations, full of drama. 4-4 and ended and then 2 penalties. Half-time here in Casablanca. A match that has had a few sparks here and there, Daniel, but for better in the second half.
Yeah, all the sparks coming on, from Burkina. They've been pushing, they're creating chances, getting corner kicks, what have you. But credit goes to Equatorial Guinea because they have a philosophy, hold it, and the space there gets those spaces. And I think that Burkina will wear it because if they get it right, they might end up putting a surprise this Saturday.
So goalless here, Casablanca. It's Burkina Faso 0, Equatorial Guinea 0.
Here, we're known for our sense of service. It's all about finding ways to support you. Day after day, doing everything we can to be useful and providing energy in all its forms. Everywhere, every time, all across the continent. Here, we're known for our sense of service. It's all about finding ways to support you. Day after day, doing everything we can to be useful and providing energy in all its forms. Everywhere, every time.
Power your moment. Techno, the global partner of Afcon 2025. The global partner of Afcon 2025.
In the heart of every champion lies a gym, one of resilience, passion, and dedication. It's a game that starts as a dream that is cruised by ambition. A journey that was released the seat of greatness. And greatness isn't good. It's very power in challenge, goal, and celebration of Afcon 2025 that inspires generations. And one that proves that we are made of more. Then there's a official global partner of Afcon 2025. A journey that was released the seat of greatness. Greatness isn't good. It's very power in challenge, goal, and celebration of Afcon 2025.
Let's back our team in Dakar 2026.
Are you ready? The Wanderers is gonna come alive once again. It's cricket, but not just cricket. Ball, sixing, wickets, and some surprises as well. Every game is a celebration with family and friends under the Josie sun and light. The next gen of South African cricket is ready to shine. The Are you ready with the whistle? It's your turn.
It's a big deal. Bigger DC is a very strong team. They won the first Living event ever. I'm not sure if you dynamic, but so it's in my blood. It's all of our blood.
Are you ready with the whistle? It's your turn.
It's the season rush. Turn serious with a reliable internet solution. Get Stream Connect Fiber for only 489 rand per month. And you could stand a chance to win one of 5 Toyota Starlets or one of 10 Huawei Matebooks. Call 10213. Visit telcom.co.za/business. Download the My Telcom app or go to any Telcom store. T's and C's apply. Telcom Business. Possible happens here. And you could stand a chance to win one of 5
How long have you been doing this? 15 years. 15 years. This is again. You let it go. Somewhat fun.
I'll make a drink for you.
All the energy of African football with Total Energies.
10 bits, official betting partner of Burkina Faso.
So welcome back. No goal then in Casablanca between Equatorial Guinea and Burkina Faso. Two sides looking to pick up their first 3 points in Group E as the battles of Africa's biggest family meeting do continue here with your world champions, Afghanistan, Africa, for joining us. Look at that full statistics then. Goal possession 64 for Burkina Faso, 35 for Equatorial Guinea, but it is the shots on target that suddenly tell the story of that first half. 9-0-0. An interesting look at those statistics. Olisanda, Bongani Kumalo, and Coach Imperial Lulu joining me for this halftime analysis. Coach, I'll start off with you. We expect so much from this game, but out of those opening 48 minutes, I should say, we haven't seen the back of the net yet.
I think it's because we were looking at the energy that we've seen in the previous matches because of the time of the games. We didn't take that into consideration. Kicking off so early for the players, they're still a bit sleepy, it's cold, and for them to come into this game and show up, they are showing up. Maybe the second half will be like they are kicking off, because if you look at the moments that Burkina Faso has created from the wings, they are attacking strategically going forward, but in the final phase, the decision making is poor, either too early or too late of a cross that goes in.
Olisa, I'm looking at both coaches and both technical areas. One Mitchell for Equatorial Guinea and Drama Traore for Burkina Faso. Who is the happier of the two coaches?
Personally, for me, I think the Equatorial Guinea coach will be more happy because they've been able to cancel out the Burkina Faso from scoring, and have made it a bit difficult for them. Although they've had 6 shots, but none of them have been on target, which is good news for them. But I think the second half, there should be changes from maybe both coaches. Probably maybe they will need to bring in some players, bring in fresh legs in the first game. So obviously both teams are very careful on how to approach the game. But I think in the last Burkina Faso hasn't been really prolific because some loose touches here and there has cost them not scoring a goal yet. But I think going into the second half, we're still waiting for a goal.
Yeah, Bongani, if you look at that display from both sides, it is the opening game at the Africa Cup of Nations. Do you feel nerves from both camps?
Not necessarily nerves, but there is sort of quite conservative in terms of their play. I mean, to be fair, Equatorial Guinea have been fantastic. I mean, Garnet and Mascarella have run their socks off as sixes, covering and obviously just denying the midfield spaces. But all of basically Burkina Faso's chances, as you saw in the slide, will come from the left-hand side. Kouassi has been fantastic, Sangare as well, you got Traore as well, who sort of dabbles on that side. I mean, that was all Ouattara we saw with a golden opportunity left to the goalkeeper just to set heavy touch. He hasn't had necessarily the best day, and I think that touch just shows exactly where he is in terms of just his sharpness. Perhaps in the second half a little bit better, but let's hope that Burkina Faso don't rule this missed opportunities, because they have really good chances, opportunities to at least in that time.
All right, the African continent, without a doubt, is still waiting for goals. We haven't seen a nil-nil as the family meets so far in Morocco, and that means a huge second half coming up, not just for National Thunder, but also the Stallions, and that perfectly sets up that final 45 minutes. But don't worry, we have more action here on your World of Champions, because a bit later you can enjoy Algeria up against Sudan. 3 Afcon trophies between those two nations. But for now, we are still calling you on. The fans do join in on the conversation. I mean, it's for all of us, and some of you have already joined us, giving us their thoughts on who they are supporting as the battles in Morocco continue.
I wish all the best to Burkina Faso. I love it. Burkina Faso. I think it's the sport. It's to Burkina Faso.
My name is Asara, people from Ghana. I give my full support to Sudan. With all the setbacks, they were able to qualify to the Afcon Cup of Nations. I support Sudan. Most especially, having a Ghanaian as their head of coach, with Afia. I pray that they win all their group stage matches to qualify to the next stage. Thank you.
Rooted in culture, driven by connection. These stories flow between continents, leading a new generation of talent and opportunity. Africa and Europe. Rooted in culture, driven by Cambridge, official racing partner of Burkina Faso. One goal that lifts the crowd. One celebration that unites them like brothers. Then, for me, the end of the match. That's how one up from Sporty Bet works. Don't wait until the final whistle to celebrate victory. Get settled early with Sporty Bet. One up. Winning is now that easy.
It's a big deal. Bigger TV is bigger than all. They won the first live event ever. Atmospheric dynamic, but it's in my blood. It's in all of our blood.
Get settled early with Sporty Bet.
No matter how long the road sometimes feels, I can always count on these 80 minutes to revive my soul.
We're alive, everyone.
This is Rugby, only on Super Sport.
Here, we're known for our sense of service. It's all about finding ways to support you. Day after day, doing everything we can to be useful and providing energy in all its forms. Everywhere, every time, all across the continent. It's all about finding ways to support you. Day after day, doing everything we can to be useful and providing energy in all its forms. Everywhere, every time, all across the continent. Everything we can to be useful.
With the game still deadlocked, it's time for something new. That's right.
These stories flow between continents, healing a new generation of talent and opportunity. Africa and Europe. Rooted in culture, driven by
So welcome back everyone here to Casablanca, the rather bizarre situation of Burkina Faso being back out and for a good couple of minutes already, ready to get the second half underway. In Equatorial Guinea very slow in getting back to the pitch. I thought for a second we might be on for a strike there.
The referees are never put us on the field. Sometimes it pays off, those difficult mind games.
Well, we wait to get the second half underway here in Casablanca. No goals in the first 45 minutes between these two sides. Stade Mohamed VI, the former cathedral really of Moroccan football. The stadium has seen so much drama over the years, the majority of the national team matches as well. Big Champions League finals in African football and World Cup qualifiers. 45 minutes between these two sides. The only venue here in Casablanca being used in this tournament, a new stadium being built for the 2030 World Cup just outside the city limits. The national team matches as well. Big Champions League matches today in the African Cup of Nations. To follow will be from Rabat, from Marrakesh and Agadir in the south. Being used in this tournament. Day off, of course, tomorrow on Christmas Day. There's a rest for everyone's concerned at this tournament. After a game apiece, the back in action on Friday. He has a chance for Burkina Faso early on. Traore over the left foot. Not enough power really to trouble Jesus Traore.
I think Dango should have, taken that time by himself. He was right there in the middle. Why don't you take a strike right past the ball to Thierry, who's away from the target?
He has a chance for Burkina. Changes on either side in the first half, or at the commencement of the second half, I should say.
I think Dango should have, taken that time by himself. He was right there in the middle. Why don't you take a strike right past the ball to Thierry?
This is the first game in Group E, followed by Algeria, Sudan. It will be a 4 o'clock kickoff local time. GMT +1. Second half, I should say. Just one or two chances for Equatorial Guinea. That shot from Machin who blew over the top, and Zuniga, it's looking nice and busy up front, but certainly first half dominated here by Burkina Faso.
Dominated by Burkina Faso, and I'll keep repeating myself, they have a philosophy, they sit back, they keep the ball, they move forward, they need to move it forward like the way they are doing now. They just keep passing and allowing the Burkina to come out so that they get that space in the pockets like the pass we just saw right now.
Press-splitting pass up to Ivan Salvador now with Machin on this left-hand side. He's got support from Basilo Ndong, who's always pushing forward and then maybe a little slower in making up his mind. Was he going to go left? Was he going to go right? And the fullback wasn't sure and would have been offside.
I was smart to do this. That ball, the pass the sooner. But he saw no sense in making that run. That you don't get the ball from the field.
Absorber will take the clearing goal kick. Looking up front for Cabore. The challenge in there from Blati Ture. Waterogo. Here is the skipper. Now Traore. Gets the free kick. Just the 1 yellow card in the first half. Maybe now the referee's going to come across and issue a second. He seems so inclined initially, but now he puts Basilo Ndong into the book.
Maybe he has a call from the VAR. It looks like it was from the international, but I just hope that Torres can get back on his feet because it looks like it's
Yes, the chance catches him on the back of the leg, the Achilles tendon. Oh, no, that looks ugly.
That's bad.
He's going to the VAR. The referee has been sent to the VAR, so Basilo Ndong and his continued participation in this game now looks to be coming to an end. He is a worried figure, but that's evidence is likely to see the fullback sent off for an early shower.
Right, it looks worried when the camera caught him. There is no doubt, that he will be sent off. It's a red card, direct red card. I think he will be brought back to the other card and issue him a direct red card.
Now let's see what referee Mansour does. Having checked, he is changing his decision, and the yellow will be rescinded, and Basilo Ndong will depart. And there are not too many complaints from the fullback. He looks absolutely shattered by that decision. But a clumsy challenge and the first red of the tournament.
Yeah, it's clumsy. It wasn't intentional, but very, very clumsy. He knows it when the referee blew. Right away, the referee did it, but then he had, contact from the VAR, and that's when he blew. But we'll see how Equatorial Guinea will play with 10 men.
Well, they were on the back foot for most of the first half. They will certainly be on the back foot now.
For the Burkinas to be worried about, hopefully, the captain Fiore will be able to knock it out of the other because it looks really, really bad.
Yeah, here he is standing by to come back on again. Fourth official from Somalia, Mr. Afcon, is telling him to wait.
Very good referee, Mr. Afcon. I enjoy watching him because, he makes the right call and he lets the players know that he's an authority. This is my field. I am the boss.
Coming through the ranks. So now Jesus Olono needing some treatment. I wonder if that's more to enable Equatorial Guinea to make one or two changes and try and see if they can shuffle things around. There's a warm-up at the moment for Charles Ondo, who's a Spanish-born coming through the ranks fullback, but plays his club football in England.
So mine from the beginning now they have coming onto the pitch late. And now, no any attack going on, no any pressure, no any contact from the goalkeeper, and then you just have to lay down to ask the medic to come in so that they will have time, like you rightly said, man, get that substitution.
Now, goalkeeper's up on his feet. This is surely something that they're going to step out in the future in world football. There's very obviously an effort by Equatorial Guinea to hasten the change. So it looks as if Charles Ondo will be coming on, plays for the Portland Timbers these days in the Major League Soccer. But the last 3 seasons in non-league football in England, the likes of Hemel Hempstead and Welling United, also played a handful of games for Huddersfield in the Championship. So it looks as if Charles
is still standing there too. So he hasn't been invited back. Can only be invited back, when you start of the game.
Now, Louis Suero is the player, or Asuero rather, is the player who will be making way rather reluctantly too, as we can see.
It's practically happens sometimes. You don't see it coming, but what can you do? You take one for the team.
Well, Ondo will move into the left-back position, and Equatorial Guinea down to 10. Traore still not onto the field. Now, curling ball towards Owono, and Traore returns, and Owono will buy a bit of time here. Move into the left-back position. But the new man, Charles Ondo, born in Madrid, but grew up in England. Now playing Major League Soccer with the Portland Timbers. Coco comes across and clears, playing from the crowd. That was a foul, I think, given by the referee. It's Ouedraogo.
Be worried about that clumsy tackles. They just got the man sent off. They should be careful.
Coco comes across and clears. Kouassi, Traore. Cuts inside Traore. Early ball, gets it back again. Taken away by Machine. Zuninga is the player in support, but he's maybe bitten off a little bit more than he can chew there, Jose Machina. Not for the first time either. Frustration for him.
I think the referee didn't see him. That's a yellow card offense. The way Equatorial Guinea have been, set up from the beginning, the man down. They won't feel any different because they just it's a good attack going. Another clumsy tackle. Like I was saying, but the way they set up, even with the player less, they will still have that 4-4, one formation. They go to a 1-4-4 formation, and they will still be compact, at the back. The only way now is how to break and go forward.
Dungo Water just a little bit too much on that, away for a goal kick. With the live play now with Akapo looking for Zuninga. It's been a fairly easy afternoon so far for Hervé Kofi in the goal for Burkina Faso, plays for Angers in the top flight in French football. Play now with Lati Toure. Gets the free kick. There's a tight break on his shirt there from Pablo Ganet. Tapsoba. Probing on the edge of the area. Lati Toure. Gets the free kick. Tapsoba out wide to Traore. Onto that left foot. Nice first touch. A little ball in for Yago. And who had the last touch here? It'll be a throw in for Burkina Faso. So probing, but not getting chances in on Owono's goal just yet. We've had 10 minutes of the second half.
Yeah, they keep possession, they keep passing the ball. But, it's what really matters, is creating their chances and hitting, the target and probably, scoring a goal. We'll see what comes out from this corner kick.
Not getting chances in on Owono's goal just yet. We've had 10 minutes of swung in by Sangare, back post. Tapsoba was there. So finally someone else besides Traore, it takes a set piece.
Yeah, with
doing a lot better.
With that twist, in the ankles, probably from the coach saying that the workload is too much for him. And I think they need to manage the game. With 11 players, need to move the ball quicker, get into those pockets and try and do something and take the advantage of getting the 3 points in the first game.
Jesus Ono plays for Andorra these days in the second division in Spain. Was in La Liga last season with Equatorial Alaves. The backup goalkeeper at Alaves now finally looking to establish himself as the number one. Garrett for Equatorial Guinea, 10-man Equatorial Guinea. These days in the second division in Spain. Was in La Liga last season. Ondo loses out. Referee says play on. Ball inside. Pushing forward now with Sangare. Lovely pass. Saved by Owono. Garrett for Equatorial Guinea. 10-man Equatorial Excellent Guinea. Chance for Burkina Faso and using the numerical advantage as well.
Good break, Mark. Very good break, good run, good pass. Didn't average a right, but hit the target, but no one was there. And I think that he could have done much better than the way he struck that ball.
Well, he's had his chances in the game today. Don't go one for now. Here's another one. Straight at Owono.
That's a pass. That's a pass. You should be looking at, putting the ball, inside of the goalkeeper and hitting the back of the net. They're getting those chances. They're not taking advantage of it. We've seen teams win games with 10 players on the field.
Straight at Owono. That's a pass. That's a pass. You should be. A red card, by the way, for Don will rule him out of the rest of the first round. It's a 2-match suspension. Mascarell, flicked on by Machine, looking for Iban Salvador.
As a penalty.
Polak's there, and the referee says bring the medical on first.
That should be a penalty, man. If it's on the line, looks like it's on the line because, he didn't get the ball. It's a head collision. He went for it. We'll see what the VAR will do. The referee.
He's obviously getting some word in his ear. Referee from Egypt, Mr. Mansour. We wait to see this challenge again. Salvador, the player involved for Equatorial Guinea. He's obviously getting chasing that there with Dial. Head on to the ball first. And then head-on-head between the two of them. There won't be any sanction there.
No, definitely not.
But two big headings, I fancy.
They will feel it after the game, especially when you are the losing team.
Well, the good news is both players are up and ready to resume.
Well, the caution where referees and doctors in the season always tell, when they're at a health condition, don't allow them to go straight back in. Just keep them, a minute or two outside the field to see, because concussions sometimes react after 60 or 120 seconds.
Now here comes Burkina Faso again, looking for the opener. Dango Watara, it's cleared away by Esteban.
Just keep them a minute or two outside the field to see, because concussions sometimes react after 60 or 120 seconds.
Return forward, back inside to Ouattara. Tapsoba pushing forward. Square ball, header. Oh, there's another good opportunity. And this time it falls for Kabore.
They're not getting those chances at the beautiful through pass behind, the Equatorial defense and the water cross, but probably he hit the ball too fast, too hard and a bit behind, for the player to have the contact that he really wanted.
There's Kouassi, the provider. I think Kabore will be disappointed that he put that wide. He scored a hat-trick against Ethiopia in the World Cup qualifiers in October. That is a miss.
That should be a goal. That should be 100% a goal.
Free header towards the back post for Landre Kabore from Hearts of Midlothian in Edinburgh, Scotland. Away for a corner. Pressure continues now. Burkina Faso just squeezing Equatorial Guinea down to 10, of course. The men in red. And the Burkina looking to use this advantage. Owano gets a little touch. That time Traore on the edge of the penalty area. Takes on too much. He looks a bit tired now. Back on Traore. Machine with Pablo Gane in support. And they'll get a free kick here. It's going to be perhaps plenty of time wasting a slow approach from Equatorial Guinea, just try and suck the life out of the game. Not allow Burkina Faso any impetus. They see they can hang on here for a share of the spoils at the end of the 90. Long way to go, though.
That'll do the right thing to do, man. When you know that he's been struggling for the game, and then you have such opportunity to kill a few seconds, why not?
Burkina Faso, any impetus. A share of the spoils at the end of the 90. Long way to go, though. Quickly taken. No, referee wants it back in the right spot. And Ivan Salvador, the two survivors from 2015 when Equatorial Guinea hosted this competition. He was supposed to be here in Morocco, but moved because of the Ebola virus crisis, you might remember. He has a chance now. Still an opportunity. Ouattara, the supplier, it does not find his skipper.
I think he will have done right on the Thiago will have pulled back away from the defenders and just have a blast on target, but unfortunately he lost it. And then in the middle of both the centre backs of Equatorial Guinea.
The supplier, it does not find his skipper. Nicely done by Mascarell, looking to get something going down his left-hand side. Charles Ondo. There's space here for Mascarell as well. Carlos Acapulco on the charge down the right. Machine. Pablo Gane has a shot and puts it wide.
Those are the spaces I'm talking about. They always have those spaces in the pocket. Even with 10 men, they still find their way to get, those pockets. And believe me, Burkina should be wary and be very careful of giving away those spaces.
On the charge down the right, Machine. Now here comes Burkina Faso into the penalty area. Dango Ouattara, square ball high up in the air from Esteban. The pressure continues. Surely the breakthrough is coming. No free kick. Now here comes Burkina Faso into the penalty area. Dango Ouattara, square ball high up in the air from Esteban. Pressure continues. Surely the breakthrough is coming. No free kick. Down the line, little push in the back there of Ouattara. Should be a free kick for the Burkinabe. Seen just the one change so far in this game, enforced really by the tactical switch following the red card for Marcelo Ndong coming onto the left, and Asuero giving way.
Should be a free kick for the Burkina Faso.
Lati Toure taps over, lovely little ball, chance in again.
Just the one change so
and it's going to run a little bit too long for Dango Ouattara.
Switch following the red card for
Will make the difference in the game. If Burkina Faso score one, then the game will open. But if not, we'll keep having a close the game the way we're seeing it. Substitution coming up for Equatorial Guinea.
Looks as if Equatorial Guinea are going to look to make two changes now. Beef matters up in the middle. First of all, Yannick Boulia, who is a regular at these combinations in the past. Player from Numancia in the second tier of Spanish football. Played for Real Zaragoza in the past. Jose Machín will be making way for him. And another player from 2 years ago, Santiago Ename, is a regular at these with Sparta Prague in the Czech League, played for Nantes in France. Yellow card for Ivan Salvador, who's taking his time about departing the field.
will be making way for him.
Santiago Ename to come on, been competing for Sparta Prague in European Sparta Prague Cup competition this season in the UEFA Conference League.
No, they don't have to have. You know that no matter what happens, the referee, there will be an add-up time on it, so why don't you just get away? Might end up costing him in the next games.
Well, there's no stranger to the yellow card, Ivan Salvador.
This season in the UEFA Conference League.
His reluctance to leave the field means he's also gone into the book.
Here comes Dango Ouattara again. Burkina Faso now on the charge, looking for the opening goal.
And again, blocked on this occasion, the cover defence coming from Mascarell.
His reluctance to leave the field. He's also got
Spanish under-19 international Mascarell. He's switched his international allegiance after the Cup of Nations in Ivory Coast. He was actually asked to come and play in that tournament, but wasn't sure about whether he wanted to commit for Equatorial Guinea. But after seeing what he did, what they did in Abidjan, he changed his mind. That's Mascarell. Just giving a little touch on that as well.
Ename now. Allegiance after the Cup of Nations in Ivory Coast. He was actually asked to come and play in that tournament.
Played a handful of games in the top flight in France at Nantes.
After seeing what he did,
Ganex, there's space out wide. Acapo, the skipper, is he going to have a shot? Gets the shot in, and it's not far away. You can see the frustration of that. They watch these defence open up and allow a free shot there for Equatorial Guinea skipper.
He should be angry because they just kept backpedaling, allowing him to shoot. But that doesn't look. They should have been there because that's been a very good chance. Substitution coming up for Burkina.
Well, there's a whole pile of them, including a return to action here for the striker, Lamine Traoré. He will be, or Lassina Traoré, I should say, he will be replacing Lassina Traoré with Shakhtar Donetsk. He was formerly with Ajax Amsterdam. In fact, had a season in South Africa as well with Ajax Cape Town. Good performance from Sangare in the middle. He will depart. In his place comes Aziz Ki, made a name for himself in the African club competition last season with Young Africans and Simba, Tanzanian side. He's with Wydad Casablanca now. In his place comes Aziz Ki. Made confirmation also Charles Ondo coming on a little bit earlier, Santiago and there for Equatorial Guinea. 20 minutes for this trio to make an impact, and there it comes, the goal! Almost immediately off the bench from Lassina Traoré. He's had his injury problems over the last year. What a dramatic return.
What a goal. What a time to score a goal. Coming off the bench, your first touch, and you're right there at the right time, at the right moment to just punch it into the net. This is what coaches love. You make that substitution and get the impact that you send him to.
Well, he had a lot of criticism, the coach, for picking Lassina Traore in the squad. Traore with no game time since August. He plays in Ukraine for Shakhtar Donetsk. But the coach said he is coming back, he is training, he will be fit soon. And vindication as Lassina Traore scores. Let's have a look. It was knocked towards the back post. Is that onside?
It looks off to me. We'll see what VAR will say, because it looks like it's offside.
Because Darko Watara, who played the header in, this might require a little bit of a check.
Celebration cut shots.
Lassina Traore just squeezing it under or not.
But it's always good to see a coach, what believe in the player that he has. Why not? And players like that want to, give everything for the coach and for the team.
Now is the anxious wait. Referee will be hearing in his ear whether it's onside or offside. There's a look over to the fourth official. He's talking to the VAR. And the longer the delay is often an indicator of the fact that this might be ruled out. We wait to hear. They're checking it in the VAR room. Was he onside? Was he offside? Lassina Traore, is that dream return to action going to be annulled here by the Egyptian referee and by the VAR team? What's the decision? Offside! Wow! That would have been a matter of inches, but what a let-off for Equatorial Guinea. It's still goalless here in Casablanca.
It's a let-off, but believe me, the Guineans will have that confidence to keep pushing now with the extra player that came in for the substitution.
Well, the supporters are celebrating that like they've got a goal of their own, Equatorial Guinea.
Yeah, but because they know if that goal would have stood with 10 men, the game would have been more opener for now the Burkinas before that probably score more goals.
Well, when we saw that replay, at first glance, we did feel that perhaps he's just strayed a couple of inches offside by Lassina Traore, and that has been verified by VAR. To be fair, you spotted that too. This is Tapsoba now. So, still goalless, still need that goal. Burkina Faso to take advantage of the numerical superiority which they're enjoying here. 3 changes made as well up front with Traore coming on as is key. And of course, adding to the numbers with Simpore, who plays in Egypt. He'll be in the midfield in place of Sangare.
Yeah, the Burkina, they just keep playing the ball side to side. The Equatorial, they'll be very, very happy with what they say.
There's Mascarell charging down, and he gets the free kick. You can see the protest there from Blaki Taure, who feels he made full contact with the ball. Acapulco gets the decision. Well, he did make the first touch with the ball too, and you can see why he was not happy with that call from the refereeing team.
Going through the man, when he goes through the man and even have a touch of that contact as a foul. It's the law of the game. Now we are players, we want to fight it, but
the decision.
That's just it. And the rules keep changing every second.
Is Pablo Gane with the free kick. Overcooked a little bit, and too much of a chase there for Equatorial Guinea. Suminga was the man that they were aiming for. With the free kick.
You have to move those balls. You have to move the passes quicker. The more you move the passes quicker with one man, less you'll have that opening. But if you just keep passing the ball left to right, they will be happy about it.
This is key with a little flick on from Topsova's searching pass. Dial. Topsova.
You have to move those balls. You have to move the passes quicker. The more you move the passes quicker with one man, less you'll have
This is key on wide Latitude. Find some movement on the flank. Now, Ouattara. Beats one defender, trying to lay it back into the path. Topsova's searching pass. Ouattara. Dial.
Did everything right, but unfortunately couldn't find a wide shot.
The last touch comes off before that Kouassi. Throw in Equatorial Guinea. Now they'll be watching the clock. Some good work again from Dango Ouattara. Mascarell committing early, but pullback intercepted. We've still got those two Premier League attackers in Traore, Scott Sunderland and Ouattara from Brentford, leading the attack for Burkina Faso. And some fresh legs into the port from Lassina Traore.
He's from he had that tackle, he have slowed down.
Yeah, he's disappeared a little.
Yeah, he's not moving comfortably.
Now Topsova. Kouassi was out of the ball for a second, recovers. Latitude. Bertrand Traore overlaps from Iago. Toure sees off the challenge of Zuninga. Look at that red wall there on the edge of the area. Is there a way through for Burkina Faso? Aziski. Topsova, little chip over the top, looking for Dango Ouattara, clearing it from Esteban. Play on, no, referee says foul. That was a little shove on the edge of the area on Boulia. Is there a way through for Burkina Faso?
This looks toughy and his movement on the ball is very slow coming in. I expect the player who is coming in should be more quick on his feet. Substitution coming in.
Another one for Burkina Faso, bringing on another attacker.
They're coming up. I said it because he wasn't looking comfortable. He was limping throughout since after that tackle that got the player sent off.
So George Meningo, who plays for Seattle Sounders in Major League Soccer, is on. 23-year-old to add some numbers up front as they look for a goal here with time beginning to tick away. So 11 minutes plus stoppage time remaining in this opening encounter in Group D, Africa Cup of Nations action, live from Casablanca and the Stade Mohamed V. Equatorial Guinea will be using changes also just to wind down the clock in these closing stages.
Just give a breather to the player because they are not going to get away with it. 10 minutes being wasted. Now the referee will definitely add to play at the end of the 90.
Now Mascarell battling away. More high-profile members of the Equatorial Guinea team. Getting a little frustrated now, Mascarell as well. Now Mascarell battling away. More high-profile members of the Equatorial Guinea team. They got caught on the heel there. Now, are we going to get the two changes on for Equatorial Guinea in the form of Marvin Hannibal plays in the lower leagues in Spain. He'll come on in defense. Dorian Jr. will be pushed up front. They will Viborg in the top flight in Denmark. Are we going to get the two changes on
very ambitious mark. Mount down and still the same standing strikers. Very, very ambitious and sending the defensive midfielder. One add strength to the leader.
Pablo Graneri is the first player to come off, a hard-working midfielder, and the youngster from Real Madrid Castilla, from the second team of the Spanish Giants, Lorenzo Zuniga, is also off. Spanish father, his mother comes from Equatorial Guinea. That's the case of many of these players. You mentioned earlier, 19 of the squad born in Spain. Giants, Lorenzo Zuniga. We're feeling right at home here in Morocco, so close to the Spanish frontier.
Don't forget my dinner with the ferry.
Yeah,
from
Tangier to Spain, around about an hour on the ferry.
45 minutes.
45 minutes, and you're going to have lunch in Spain.
I did my research. Real pain, that's why I did the research.
I'll tell you, I'll make a deal with you. I'll pay for the lunch, you buy the ferry tickets.
Okay, ready.
Absorber. 45 minutes, and you're going to have lunch in Spain.
I did my research.
Off the flank comes Minungo. He looks lively, wants to get involved, wants the return ball to the byline. Let's get that in play. Oh, that's an excellent chance for Aziski. Dango Watara puts that wide over the top.
That's unlucky from Aziz. He did everything right, you know.
But it wouldn't have counted. The flag was up. Off the flank comes Minungo. He looks lively. He wants to get involved, wants the return ball to the byline. Let's get that in play.
Well, was offside.
Yeah, that's a chance for Aziski. Dango Watara.
He stopped the ball. He brought it back in.
Yeah, there's the defender pretty much
blocking the goalkeeper.
Where the flag went up from the linesman on the near side. Sparing the blushes of Dango Watara. We had another excellent opportunity. We're now 7 minutes away from the end of the 90. And Burkina Faso conceded the free kick. Pretty much holding on grimly here on Equatorial Guinea. Are they going to pick up the points? This will be only the second draw of the tournament, day 4 of the Cup of Nations. The Mali-Zambia clash on Monday ended 1-1. Burkina Faso conceded the free kick. Santiago Eneme. Their footed cross to the near post. Get the corner. Well, maybe not the draw, maybe snatch something here in these closing stages.
Good substitution, number 12, Luis Ondo. You know, since coming in, he has brought a lot of energy in the attack for Equatorial Guinea.
Yeah, he was the change made when the red card was handed to Basile Ondo, left-sided defender.
Holds the ball pretty well, so he takes on the defense.
Equatorial Guinea looking for the opening goal. They've got it! My word! This is a country that keep creating the shocks. Marvin Hannibal scores with 5 minutes to go. Sensational.
Football, and they keep pulling the surprises from 2 years ago, you know, in Abidjan, and they're pull out from the corner kick and what a header, you know. That's what football is all about. That's what every Cup of Nations is all about. You know, you're one man down, you don't give up. You got a player stand up, but still, you are in the game. You still have about 7 minutes, 6 plus at a time. If you can hold on, what a surprise this will have been.
Marvin Hannibal, he's only just come onto the field. What an impact at the set piece for Equatorial Guinea. Floated towards the back post, good strong header, climbs above the defence. Power on that, no chance for Hervé Kofi.
We're hoping that it doesn't get to a nil-nil draw. The first game, and then we got one ahead. You can see how all the stress that he did, he couldn't get to the ball. See how the Equatorial Guinea will manage, their game. They've been doing it pretty well. The one man down, now that they're one goal up, we'll see how they're going to manage it.
Hannibal plays in the 4th league in Spain. Incredible story. Very much a backup player for Equatorial Guinea, but he relished that first international goal as well.
This is what the African Cup of Nations is. A player who is a prison warden, from Uganda. He had his first. This is Africa.
Very much the fairy tale stories of this Cup of Nations are numerous. That's for sure. Minungo. Long ball into the area, looking for Dango Watro. They're going to be desperate now, Burkina Faso. They will be somewhat shell-shocked. And then time is certainly against them.
They will be desperate. But now the Equatorial Guinea have to show discipline. They know how to be patient. No silly mistakes. Don't give away silly corner kick and set pieces, because they can hurt you.
They will be somewhat shell-shocked. Long ball forward from Owono. So you'll remember 2 years ago in the Ivory Coast, they drew with Nigeria. They beat Guinea-Bissau 4-2. They beat the Ivory Coast, the host nation, 4-0 in Abidjan, in arguably the greatest shock in Cup of Nations history. And they are about to pull off another surprise here in Casablanca as the sun continues to shine, the rain clouds look to have gone, and the sun is certainly shining on Equatorial Guinea.
Good story. They had a good run in the qualifiers at the World Cup as well, but they keep struggling and losing games at the end minute. I just hope this doesn't turn out for them, because they're on the bench of making another outstanding game at the African Cup of Nations.
Eneme comes away. Can they get another one? Santiago Eneme up to Dorian Jr. The two substitutes. Good running in as well. Square ball from Ondo. Another corner. Now let's see how long this takes. Daniel, look at the clock. It's 88 minutes exactly as their corner was conceded. There'll be no rush to take this set piece.
Definitely no rush, because even the Burkinas want to make a substitution. I think they're bringing in the number 21.
Yeah, the change for Burkina Faso will see Iri Kalu, who plays for Fribourg in the top flight in Germany, the Bundesliga. 20-year-old, who is their last throw of the dice. Steve Yarbrough comes off, so they're sacrificing a fullback for another attacker to see if they can't snatch something out of the closing stages. But we wait now. Good